actually feel like I can relate to someone on the candidates. It's so hard to find someone you can relate to.
Yeah, so you don't feel like you can relate to Hillary Clinton as a woman?
No, I cannot. I mean, she's a woman. She's fought a lot of things because of that sexism, but that doesn't make her a good candidate. It's like, it doesn't work.
I agree, and to me that's like gender equality is you don't elect me because of my gender.
Exactly.
Just like you wouldn't deny me a job because of my gender.
Exactly.
You don't give me a job because of my gender either.
Yeah. We need to get the stress off of the middle class. Right now our middle class is shrinking. And we keep thinking that more government involvement is going to fix that. I don't think we've ever seen that work.
No,
I don't think it worked for Europe. I don't think I've seen it work for America yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. Thank you very much. Have you guys heard about Mark Miller? You obviously know about Gary Johnson, but have you heard about Mark Miller?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark is the Libertarian candidate for Railroad Commissioner, which the Railroad Commission actually regulates the oil and gas industry in Texas. So Mark has 15 years of petroleum engineering experience. He has a PhD from Stanford in petroleum engineering. The Democrat running is a retired school teacher, and the Republican running was twice voted worst House representative by Texas Monthly. So please make sure that you also check Mark's name on the ballot in November after you check the Johnson Rail box. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shea Johnson, and my father, Gary Johnson, is running for President of the United States.
Yeah!
I want to start by thanking all of you for being here. This campaign is working hard to build a better America for you, and you are the ones that are making that possible. Every single one of you, you are such an integral part of this campaign, so thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I want to start with a quote that I read this morning. I think it's appropriate because from what I read, Hillary Clinton has used it, Bernie Sanders has used it, Donald Trump has used it. He said that it came from Gandhi, but it turns out that that's not true. I heard that might be a problem of his, I don't know. In any event, it says, first they ignore you, and then they make fun of you, and then they fight you, and then you win.
Yeah!
Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like the fight part has arrived. I have seen so much venom on the internet this week. I have seen so many people saying, you can't waste your vote, or that if you're casting a protest vote or voting your conscience, that that's somehow destroying our country. So here's my message. I'm not casting a protest vote. I am voting for Gary Johnson.
Yeah!
I am voting for a candidate who is honest.
Yeah!
And believe me, I have spent my entire life with him. He's my dad. He is honest. I am voting for a candidate with integrity.
Yeah!
Who cannot be bought and sold.
Yeah!
I am voting for someone who realizes that an almost $20 trillion debt is not a legacy that we can leave to the next generation. I am voting for someone who believes that diversity is our strength. I am different than you, I'm different than you, I'm different than you, and guess what? That is awesome.
Yeah!
That is what makes America great, is that all of us can come together with all of our differences and make a fantastic country. Hi. I think most importantly, I'm up here because I know that if he gets elected, this presidency is going to protect our right to love who we want to love. It's going to protect our right to worship who we want to worship. And it's going to protect our right to live who we want to live as, to make our own decisions and to be who we want to be.
That's right.
So, here's my call to you. You've heard my dad say that he wants to do a lot of things to give them to the states because it will create 50 laboratories of innovation, right? Well, conservatively, you are 13 million laboratories of innovation. We don't have the money to compete with the big campaigns. We don't have the organization in place to compete with the big campaigns, but we have you. We have 13 million laboratories of invention who can get out there and know this is the best way to reach my friends. This is the best way to reach my community. This is the best way to reach my family, my church, my community. We don't know the answers, but you do. So here's my charge to you. If you want to be in, you need to get out. You need to get out there and you need to tell 10 people, this is Gary Johnson. I'm not going to tell you to vote for him because we should all have the right to vote for who we want to vote. But you need to know that this candidate is here and that he is on the ballot in all 50 states. The mathematical possibility is there. The challenge now is that we need to overcome this force of, oh, you're going to waste your vote. Or, oh, by casting a protest vote, you are ruining our country. Because I say, by voting for him, we can make our country fantastic, amazing. And remember that you are the campaign, and we need you. Get out. Get out. If every single one of you can convert one person to this campaign, if you can convert 2 people to this campaign, the whole argument goes away. So please, please, please go out there and be your own laboratory of innovation. Come up with all the ideas that we can't and share the message and let everyone know that we can win, that it's possible, and they just have to give up their bias. And I just want to close by saying one thing because I think it's really important. There's a lot of venom out there. And so as you go out there to spread that message, I want you to very conscientiously think about spreading a positive message. I want you to say, I am voting for a candidate, not against one. Because for every positive note that you put out there, for every positive message, for everyone where you talk to them and you say, I understand that we're different, but that's okay. That's what makes this country great. That's what's going to spread. So get out there, be positive, spread the message. If you can reach 10 people, we are going to win. I would like to present to you the future President of the United States.
So I want to start off with an apology to all of you, all right? And the apology is the whole Aleppo deal. And here's why. Because I really take it seriously that we get ourselves involved in these military interventions. We get involved in regime change. Men and service women are losing their lives. They're getting maimed for the rest of their lives. And I blow it because I don't know the name of Aleppo. But let me just for a second take this as an opportunity to, for 1 second, talk about Aleppo. all right, Aleppo, at the heart of the Syrian crisis. We've got Assad on the east side of Aleppo. On the west side, we've got the Free Syrian Army that we support with arms. They are allied with the Islamists. We don't support the Islamists, but we support the Free Syrian Army. And the Free Syrian Army gets beat, and the arms end up in the Islamists' hands. Yep. And then we've got Raqqa to the north, and that's ISIS. And you can argue that there was a void created there, partially due to our invasion of Iraq, and that Saddam's henchmen fled to Raqqa and created an entity, ISIS, that we didn't even know about until 2 years ago. And gee, we're supporting the Kurds against ISIS, but the Kurds are sideways with our Turkish ally, who aren't such good allies since we invaded Iraq. And then, before any of this happened, we supported Assad in fighting the Islamists to begin with before we ever became involved in regime change. So this is my apology, is that these issues really do matter. They really matter, and they get obscured by, in this case, my not being able to recognize this and articulate this as it should be. But this is our message. Our message is a message that resonates with most Americans. Being fiscally conservative, the notion that taxes, you and I can spend our money better than government can spend its money.
What's your name, sir?
Ray.
Okay, how old are you, Ray?
56.
56?
Too old to count.
Do you consider, what type of voter do you consider yourself traditionally?
Actually, a libertarian.
A libertarian voter? Excellent, excellent. And so you're planning on voting for Johnson this year?
I usually don't say who I'm voting for, but I've voted for libertarians many times in the past.
Okay, so what is the deciding issue for you generally? What issues are of
Generally
concern?
freedom. I just, I like people to leave other people alone.
Okay, I agree with that. It's very libertarian. And you gentlemen?
I'm not allowed to vote yet,
Okay.
but I'd probably consider myself a little libertarian, maybe. Right there.
Okay.
I'm Michael. I'm 19. I guess I consider myself libertarian.
Okay.
I plan on voting for Gary Johnson all the way.
Will this be the first vote? This will be your first vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, high five on that one.
But he's not Trump, he's not Hillary, and he has lots of experience with the governor in New Mexico, and I just have a lot of hope for him. So.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
I think what's really important also is to recognize that among active military personnel in what is now 3 polls, I am the overwhelming pick to be the next president.
Hey!
How you doing?
How are you doing? This is Pat Dixon.
This is me.
Pat Dixon, can you tell us what it means to be a libertarian?
It means being awesome.
being awesome.
Right now, the majority of Americans are libertarian. It's just that they don't know it. And yes, it is. And philosophically speaking, being fiscally conservative, what's fiscally conservative all about? I mean, Bill Weld and I are planning or are pledging to submit a balanced budget to Congress over the first 100 days. Why is a balanced budget important? A balanced budget is important for future generations. It is not an option to do nothing when it comes to Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security, or it's not going to be around. And it's not an option when you start talking about the military, when the military itself says that we could be reducing bases by 25%, and that's the BRAC Commission that was established in the mid-90s. That's something that they said we could accomplish.
Okay, what's your name, sir?
Hayden.
Hi, Hayden. And what kind of, well, obviously you're a Johnson fan. You consider yourself a libertarian traditionally?
Not. I mean, this election's kind of new to me. You know,
Okay.
It's like I'm kind of, I guess, more independent. But
Okay, so what's bringing you over to Johnson?
his message is pretty good for me. I suppose the other candidates I'm not too enthralled with, and I want to vote for someone I can believe in versus someone I cannot stand.
I agree. I think it's very important that you vote for someone and not against someone.
Right.
And that for me is, I agree with you, is Gary Johnson.
Yeah, he just seems like a reasonable guy. He believes in the Constitution. You know, he's got a good mixture of a lot of views that resonate well with me.
Okay, awesome. How about you, sir? What's your name?
I'm Dean.
Hi, Dean.
Hi.
And are you traditionally an independent voter, or?
I got burned by Bernie, so.
Oh, okay. Burned by Bernie.
Burned by Bernie.
You mean burned by Hillary when she rigged when she stole your nomination?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, burned by Bernie, and so I've sworn off the Democratic Party for good.
Okay. Yeah, Gitmo is what did it for me in the Democratic Party, because I was promised that Gitmo would be closed.
I know.
And it was not. And so I started looking around for someone that I felt like still had integrity in politics, and 3 years later, I'm like super involved in the Libertarian Party of Texas, and it's like my entire life.
See, this guy comes from like a Democratic. I voted Republican last time.
No, I burned by Bernie, and I was never ever vote for Hillary. No more.
Yeah.
The next speaker is Juan Hernandez, and Juan is up next.
Viva Gary! Viva Gary! Viva Gary! Viva Gary! I am so tired of the insults from the right, as a Latino especially, and I'm so tired of the unkept promises of the left. The right has been calling my friends, my family members, rapists, killers, especially the wonderful and documented people who are here, and there's no way that I can vote for the Republican candidate Donald Trump. On the other hand, and I worked on the McCain campaign, I was excited. We had a hero running for president, and Obama beat us, and he beat us good. The night that he won, I remember watching, I was thinking, but this is a good thing. That an African American has won. This is a good thing. He's made us think of ourselves that we can do better. He said that he would promote immigration reform. Maybe this is a good thing. It's been 8 years, and the guy has done nothing for us Latinos, and I don't think much for us Americans. He did not promote what he had promised, especially with regard to immigration reform, especially for those 11 million people who are good people doing great things for this nation. They are a blessing to this nation. So I cannot support Hillary and Clinton, who's promising the same thing and much more. Can you support Hillary? No! I'm so glad to have found, yes, as a Latino, but as an American, an individual that on one hand is tolerant on those social issues that of course are very, very, very difficult. For us Latinos, we tend to be conservative, we tend to be religious, but we also tend to be tolerant. These are difficult times and they're difficult issues. So Gary says, let's pass those down to the states. Texas is very different than New York, let's say, thank God. But on the other hand, our Gary is very much like the right, and let's take away so much power from the federal government. Let's lower the taxes. Let's let people free. As a Latino, I'm so blessed as an American. And this is a personal thing. Just like the attacks from Trump are a personal thing. I was honored the day that other gentleman, and I'm a Republican, okay? Sorry, don't get mad at me. I'm just starting to move into your arena, libertarians. Be patient with me, okay? And the day that guy, Trump, was made the candidate of my party, I stretched out my hand, literally, and met a guy named Gary Johnson. 5 minutes with him, I told Gary I would stop with everything I'm doing. And this is personal, once again. I have stopped everything. I am full-time. I'm not getting paid. He'll tell you, this is serious for my nation, for my family, for Latinos, for all of us. Please join me. We're going to have now a great speaker, Shea, the daughter of our candidate for president. Shea! Yeah. Gary Johnson.
Hey, could I talk to you guys for a second? Do you mind to be on camera? What's your name?
Noah.
Okay, Noah, how old are you?
I'm 9.
9? And if you were able to vote for president, Noah, who would you vote for?
Gary Johnson.
Good answer. Good answer, my man. Do you have any reasons why you would vote for Gary Johnson? All of the reasons in the world?
I think that's why.
Okay. What
And
about?
do you know where the balloons are?
That I don't know about balloons. I'm not sure.
You know about balloons?
But I know how to get your vote now. So. What about you?
Is this on?
Yeah!
Somebody asked me earlier today if speaking to crowds like this made me nervous, and I said not so much, but I think I'm going to change my mind. My name is Mark Miller. I'm the vice chair of the Advertising Party. I'm also running for Texas Railroad Commissioner, which I'll get to in a minute. But I want to talk about Gary. The first thing I got to say is, I am so in. How about y'all? You in? Let me tell you a little bit about why I like Gary. First of all, those of you that saw him speak this morning at the Texas Tribune must have walked away thinking, if the rest of America could have seen him today, there would be no question who our next president would be. That's right. There are 3 things I always look for in a candidate: character, judgment, and policy. We know about Gary's character. He talks about being brutally honest. Of course, I think the people that say brutally honest are probably politicians. But he also is one of these people that wants to get past his mistakes by admitting to them, apologizing for them, and moving on. And I love that he talks about the sin of hypocrisy. And I'll get back to that sin in a little while. Second is judgment. Well, as most of you know, Gary vetoed something like 750 bills when he was governor. He basically substituted his judgment for the judgment of a whole bunch of elected representatives. But guess what? He was right. And the voters knew it. They re-elected him. But it's also true that Gary has some good judgment to know what the limitations are on presidential power. And they are severe. He knows it and would abide by them. He knows we have a Constitution, and rightfully so. And as far as policy, he's a libertarian. What can I say? Limited government, smaller government, more personal freedom, lower taxes, having a government that will protect us, not put its boot on us. So now let me get back to that sinning thing. Well, Gary, I hate to say this, but Texas government has been sinning for a very long time. And let me tell you, my race for Texas Railroad Commissioner is an example. Many of you may not know that this thing called the Texas Railroad Commission doesn't do railroads.
That's right.
It hasn't done railroads in a long time. Our legislators to talk about how transparent our government is, they won't change the name to reflect what it really does, which is oil and gas. Wonder why. We also have legislature who touts that we're a free market state. Yet, we have a commission who has a dual role as an avowed crony capitalist. They champion the oil and gas industry as well as regulate it. We all know that just doesn't work. Redemption is at hand, though. I'm proud to report that in my race, I have gotten the endorsement of 3 of the 4 largest newspapers in Texas. It's Libertarians 3, Republicans 0, Democrats 0, Greens 0. Keep your fingers crossed, there may be a couple more coming. So why did they endorse me? Why did they go out of their way to endorse a libertarian? Well, one of the reasons was my qualifications. I'm a long-time petroleum engineer. I know oil and gas. I've talked about it a lot. But the most important thing they liked was something that Governor Johnson talks about. That is, the policies that I am prescribing for the Railroad Commission are directly on Governor Johnson's 6-lane libertarian highway right in the middle of the population. They like that. Why? They know that it's good for the state. They know that's what people want. So please join Governor Johnson and I on that 6-lane highway. It's not all that crowded yet, but from this, it's about to get very crowded.
Yeah.
For those of you that live in Travis County, please get a card up here in the front. We've got a very active group and wanting to grow it. I know most of you are from the local area, so please connect up with us and onward and upward.
What would you say being a libertarian means to you?
It means it's pretty simple. Live life logically, leave people alone, give people their own space to do what they want, honor the NAP, the non-aggression principle. It's really hard not to be a libertarian. I think we're naturally libertarian. It's like we have to try hard to, I don't know, it looks like being a Democrat or Republican these days takes a lot of strength. That's unnatural.
It takes a lot of like rationalization to what you're doing to the rest of the world. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look easy. This is being libertarian is simple.
And it's fun.
Do unto others as you would do unto yourself.
Keep government out of my pocketbook. Keep government out of my bedroom.